The picture you see here is that of the late senior chief Abdi Ogle of Habaswein and Wajir South. First of all, Wajir. What is the meaning of the name Wajir? If you have ever been to that town, there is a roundabout between the police quarters and the county commissioner's office. At that roundabout, if you leave that roundabout and move eastwards towards the police quarters, the so-called police lines, you will come across a borehole. The borehole is called Ohale. It's called Ohale. But that borehole is very famous or well. Whenever there is, that is one well that never dries. It never dries. Even if we have the toughest kiangazi, you'll find that it never dries. So, whenever people were near Wajir town, they used to like passing through that, and because other wells would dry out during droughts. But this one, up to now, there is no drought that has ever dried Ohale well or Ohale borehole. So since it has that record, it means that everybody would take his animal there. But you'd find there is a long line. So as you are waiting for your turn, you sit aside and start talking. The talking in English is called palava, but in Swahili it is called gumzo. Gumzo. And in Kiborana, that general talk, it's called wajer. Wajer. W-A-J-E-R. So if you get a Borana or a Msomali, he calls the town Wajer. But when we went there, we called it Wajir, W-A-J-R, but pronounced it as Wajir. That is how the name Wajir came from. And Habaswein, the name Habaswein comes from this windwool. Windwool. Agikoyo metaga ate ngomashiaka tiguo. Leo ngomashiaka le na ke shumarire metaga Habasweina. That windwool where you find the sand going round, that is called Habasweina. So that is where the name Habaswein came from. Chief Ogle used to be the chief of that area of Wajir South, the town called Habaswein, long before independence. I remember in 1991, while attending a course in Nairobi, I went to Nyati House and checked on this indexing. Indexing is a sort of cataloging intelligence. So when I checked with the catalog, that was 1991, it was talking of Mau Mau fighters visiting Chief Ogle in Habaswein. Now from 1958, if you count it up to 1991, and the catalog was still there, and Chief Ogle had long died. Now, the purpose of this, I almost said tape, but the purpose of this video is to talk about the OGLE fights of 1988. In 1988, during the Mlolongo by-election, the then MP for Wajir South was one Ahmed Abdi Ogle. Ahmed Abdi Ogle was a son to Senior Chief Abdi Ogle. Senior Chief Abdi Ogle, you have seen his picture. So his son was the MP there. And who were the two people contesting against him? One of them was Nur Abdi Ogle. Nur Abdi Ogle was a son of Senior Chief Abdi Ogle and a step-brother to Ahmed Abdi Ogle. So he was contesting against his elder step-brother. Not just elder step-brother, Ahmed Abdi Ogle was a former police officer. I remember my late father, Mr. Lando, my father, Mr. Jafeth Lando, used to tell me that he remembers Ahmed Abdi Ogle because they both worked together in the police force. Now, Ahmed Abdi Ogle educated his siblings, including Nur Abdi Ogle. He educated him, and after Nur Abdi Ogle had completed his Form 4, Ahmed Abdi Ogle, being a police officer, organized for his younger stepbrother to join the game department. The game department today is known as KWS. So, Nur Abdi Ogle joined the what we now call KWS and rose to the rank of warden. What did he do? He decided to contest elections against his elder stepbrother and the person who educated him. There was a third candidate who was called Dr. Muhammad Warfa. Now, Dr. Muhammad Warfa, his father was a brother to Senior Chief Abdi Ogle. Now, Senior Chief Abdi Ogle and Warfa were brothers. Warfa's one child, who was a doctor in veterinary, and his brother Chief Ogle had two sons. This was an immediate family, and they used to be so. They used to fight each other and whatever, and the family was so divided. As I told you, my father was called Lando, Jafeth Lando, son of KHWATENGE. Now, since apart from my professional position, I was also close to the family because of my father. And one time I offered to mediate in the Ogle family. But I was told that even if Senior Chief Ogle resurrected and came out, he could not make them, he could not reconcile them. So that is the story I wanted you to share with you, that politics is a very bad game that even turns brother against brother. Because in our African society, even Dr. Muhammad Warfa was not a cousin to them, but he was a brother to them. So you find that a family, just because of a political seat, they were so much divided. And that is why I don't like politics. Thank you.